My name is Blake Weber. I'm a junior at UTC. I'm currently studying civil engineering, and I've been caving since 2022, 2021. I first got into caving when one of my best friends at the time invited me to what I didn't know was a cave festival. It was Sarah during the summer, and I went on my first vertical trip, even though I shouldn't have at that festival. And of course, I learned in a tree beforehand, but I was thrown into caving pretty quickly. But luckily, I had a lot of experience in backpacking and climbing beforehand, so the transfer wasn't too bad. I consider myself really lucky because I'm currently caving with a lot of the same people that I originally started with. So the community is just really, you're able to foster a lot of experiences really quickly. And I just happened to meet the right people that were already super involved, so I just kind of got in with them, and then I met a lot of other people that were doing really awesome stuff aside from that, in addition to that as well. And you get to meet a lot of really amazing people that are dedicating a lot of their time and effort to the community and to caving itself. And you definitely just want to have a lot of trust in the people that you go with, and I think the community makes it really easy to meet new people and to trust new people, that like learning from those around you, like you see somebody else do something that you may be uncomfortable with at first, and then once you see them do it, it's like, oh, it's just like this, and you just keep going more and more, and then you just kind of get used to it. And then over time you're able to take that in and just understand like the safety procedures, and there's just a lot of, I don't know, it just seems natural at some point. But you definitely just want to have a lot of trust and just know your stuff, I guess, especially with the people that you go with, because it doesn't always go the way that you think it's going to. Like one of my mentors, this also happens to be my favorite cave. One of my mentors was, we were in the very back of a large cave after a long rappel and a lot of crawling. It was approximately a 230-foot rappel down the waterfall, and we were climbing some ropes up in the back of the cave, and on the way back down, the hardwood ropes in the back, one of them was short roped to prevent like erosion and water damage and stuff like that. So it was just a very short drop in the very back that he was rappelling down, and just wasn't focused on where the end of the rope was, and just slipped out from his rappel device. And he just hit the rocks just right. He hit right to just break his tailbone, and he had to climb out 230 feet and then crawl for 3 or 4 hours to get out. And he said he was in a lot of pain, obviously. But again, with that, you just never know. You just always have to be aware, because that have easily could have been, a much worse situation than it was, and then he ended up being okay, and it all worked out. But yeah, just definitely being aware and like being very present, which I find really easy to do whenever I'm underground. I get very immersed in like what I'm doing and the environment, and I don't even think like, oh, I'm this far underground in the middle of nowhere, and it would take, I don't know how accurate it is, but I saw somewhere that for every like 10 minutes you're going in a cave, it takes an hour to get you out through a rescue. So like it's, the rescue efforts, of course there's like local rescue squads, which are amazing. I'm really glad that there are those safety procedures in place for those people. A few months ago, I founded the UTC Caving Club, and I currently have about 51 or 52 members in the group me. Yeah. So it's been going really well, and we had our first trip 2 Saturdays ago to a well-known gated cave near Kimball. And of course, we all signed a register, and it was just a really awesome experience for them because they'd never been in a cave before, most of them. Some of my main goals, again, are just like more outreach and getting to the biology and the geology departments to potentially get people interested in research, because caving is a super understudied field, and in relation to geology or biology or any sort of field that's like widely studied. I think there's a pretty large unknown frontier about caves. We don't understand them a ton. So I wouldn't know where I would be without caving, and I would not be as experienced in a lot of other ways of life if I hadn't met the people that I have through the community. It's encouraged me and all those around me to, I can't stop talking about it, so everybody around me is always like listening to hearing me just talk about what somebody did, or like what somebody found, or like how I do certain things. So I think one thing that's sort of difficult is a lot of the information is by word of mouth, like especially in terms of research, a lot of it just doesn't exist. So I think we just need more awareness. Um, but with that, of course, comes a lot of people being new to the sport, and when you're introduced to something, like, I think it's important to highlight conservation and to highlight safety procedures and making sure that everyone is, you know, aware of the risks of going underground. Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's just an amazing thing, and I don't know where I'd be without it, because it just encompasses everything that I love doing, and there's nothing really like being in the middle of nowhere, hundreds of feet under the ground. So yeah, I love caves. I think they're spectacular, and you meet a lot of really amazing people in the process.